Hey, this is John with Sabino Cycles, and today we are going to take a look at the newly launched Specialized Tarmac SL9 at the shop. We've got a 56 centimeter S Works build. This comes in at 14.75 pounds exactly without pedals. So, not actually much of a departure from the outgoing version. If you were expecting a revolutionary new tarmac build, this new iteration is not that. That being said, it is still a fantastic bike. If you are looking at an upgrade to the 9 from a prior generation, like the 5, 6, or the 7, this is going to be leaps and bounds a much better bike. If you are coming from something like the Tarmac SL8, the outgoing model, um, yeah, maybe wait till the next generation or get yourself a nice new carbon wheel set. That's probably going to be a bigger upgrade than jumping up to this new generation. And we'll do a little side by side comparison. We'll show you kind of what is different. But for practical purposes, here's a couple of things that they have changed. So right now the seat post is actually covered up. I'm using a microfiber cloth because I don't want to scuff it up on our portable work stand here. But they've designed what they're calling the wind fin. So the seat post is a little bit more aerodynamically involved. You'll see there's a little bit of shaping to it that's going to provide an aerodynamic benefit. The whole frame as a system is going to save 4 watts over the outgoing model. So again, not a huge departure from the previous generation. They have slightly redesigned the rear wheel cutout right here. And visually, those are two of the biggest changes on the frame. The fork, that has been slightly upgraded as well. They're now calling it the flow fork. And what that means is the inside leg of the fork actually has a slight taper towards the inside of the wheel, and that is intended to kind of funnel the wind, a little bit cleaner towards that wheel to give you the most aerodynamic bike possible. Another note from Specialized actually is that they have optimized the bike for aerodynamics with one bottle. Right, one bottle. The thought process behind this was actually in the race winning moments. Well, they are seeing that pretty much all of their pro World Tour riders are only going to have one bottle when they're going in for the sprint. So that's what they've done. They've optimized it around having just one bottle. And I did ask the team at Specialized, hey, so are there any drawbacks to having 2 bottles? Are we going to see a negative impact when we're running 2? And they said no, no difference. So that's good, I suppose. Yeah, so that is the new Tarmac SL9. It is a great new addition. This bike has now undergone generations and generations of refinement. And are we getting to the point here where we're seeing the best? I mean, we're definitely getting some diminishing returns at this point. So where's the bike industry headed with bikes like this? When are we going to see the next massive leap in technology? Are they holding out something for the 10 or the 11 that's already in development that is going to shave 200 watts off the frame set, or drop another half a pound off the frame? We don't know that yet, but yeah, here's the new Tarmac SL9. It is definitely a thing of beauty, especially with this nice candy red paint on the S Works model. Of course, it's a fantastic looking bike. So we will dive into now some of the differences. I'll put my Tarmac SL8 up here on the stand, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so here is my personal bike. This started life out as an SL8 comp. We've done a handful of upgrades to it, but you know, visually, what we're looking at here, it is very, very similar. So you'll see on the seat post up here, that's just a straight seat post. You know, there's no, it is not the wind fin. I think that the visual difference is very clear, so you can kind of see what their train of thought was with that. Where when they do wind tunnel testing, they have what they call their moving leg mannequin. So they found that, you know, aerodynamics as a system with the rider on the bike, they were able to make it a little bit more efficient by designing the seat post around, you know, the rider's legs and that motion. So on the rear of the bike again, you know, we've got this cutout here for the rear wheel to tuck into, but it is not nearly as pronounced as it is on the new version. We do still, of course, have the speed sniffer up front. That hasn't changed. One thing that has changed actually with the head tube, and we'll show you the difference in a moment here, but on the 9, they have tapered that head tube a little bit more than what was on the 8, and you can actually see when you are looking at the steer tube on the 9 that the steer tube is actually a little bit offset so that they were able to get that taper just right. But visually, yeah, very, very close. They're definitely closer than together than the 7 was to the 8. So yeah, let's take a closer look and compare these two. Post on the 8, straight. Now we'll come and look at the 9s. Yeah, you can see there is a bit of a difference there. It starts out, you know, same shape right here, and then it grows this little fin, the wind fin. And then here we're looking at the head tube on the 9. You can really see that taper accentuated pretty well by that paint. And now coming to take a look here at the 8. Yeah, you can definitely tell that there is a difference there. It is subtle, but again, this is an iterative version, so we're just seeing marginal gains. Now, the other day, I had the opportunity to ask a couple of guys at the shop to share their thoughts about the new Tarmac. So let's see what they have to say. Right, so we here at Sabino Cycles, we've got the new Tarmac SL9 in the shop here. It is a beautiful bike. We've got a couple first impressions, I think. Bruce, what do you think of the new bike?
Well, first and foremost, nothing beats a red S-Works, so there's that. But what I do like, and I mentioned before, the fork, like what they've done with the improvement, looks more aero. It's just got really nice lines on it. The back end near the rear tire, that little fairing, so to speak, I think it looks great. Obviously serves a purpose to get it more aero. And I've always thought they have the perfect amount of top tube slope.
Jason, anything?
Oof. I would say integrated cockpit now can't be beat. They are so slick, so nice, and they fit the geometries perfect. Cotton sidewalls, that's absolute luxury. And you know what? SRAM red with the blips.
Okay, well, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you are a local to Tucson, come on by the shop, take a look at the new Tarmac for yourself, or test ride any of the other bikes that we've got. We are a Specialized and Salsa dealer, and we got all sorts of good things in stock now. So come on by.